So right now is actually, I would like to welcome Mr. Gustavo Lang. He's the technology management, he's a technology manager at Nokia, and he will be talking about how mobile phones are getting smarter.
Well, thanks for the opportunity for being here, talking to you. I think it's a perfect fit to have a Nokia presentation to this amazing audience here, group of developers from this region. And I would like to start this presentation making you talk a little bit. You're too quiet. One question I have for you all. What do you think are the main differences between what's a smartphone and what's a mobile phone? Can anyone help me with this? Closer to a laptop or a computer. Ability to multitask.
A smartphone is
Always connected to the always connected to the web, as long as people has money to pay for data or has Wi-Fi, right? Anyone else? Smartphones more for apps, mobile phones more for voice, more for communication. Okay, another question then. What do you usually do with your smartphone? Let's consider that a mobile phone is a device more focused on communications, on voice, maybe texting. What have you been using in your on your smartphone? Taking pictures. Dedicated operating system for smartphones. Access to the web. Running, jogging, listen to music maybe. Applications.
Checking my bank account.
Checking web account, maybe emails as well. I can hear, sorry. Tweeting, of course, let's not forget about Twitter and Facebook, very popular on smartphones. Okay, so I'll start with my presentation. Can we dim the lights here a little bit? Because you cannot see very much the screen. I'll start with this picture. This is the Nokia Asha 303. Recently launched by Nokia, already a big seller in most of our markets. This, in the beginning, was called a mobile phone, right? As you mentioned, maybe use it for voice only. What if we include email access, right? You have your phone, you can access your personal email accounts. You add. Recently, we announced a mail for exchange for this platform. So you now have your personal emails and you have your business emails. Contacts, calendar, and email synchronization with Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Exchange. You add chat. I think people are getting more and more addicted to chatting. People stop it to use email and just chat quickly with friends, with families. Not only the communities, the chat communities that we are used to use, but now Facebook chat is also part of this family of devices. Out of the box, you don't need to install anything. Social networks, right? Twitter, Facebook, Flickr, you can upload pictures, take pictures, upload pictures. Good internet browsing. We have Nokia browser in this device. I'll talk a little bit about it later. Music capabilities. You go jogging, you go running, you have your music, your MP3, your radio with you. This phone even has an internet radio application. Maps. You can check your points of interest around you. You go travel, you download more maps. You don't need to be connected to the network all the time. We have preloaded maps for the main countries where we sell this device. Apps, games. Mobile phone just got smarter, right? It's becoming really, really hard to explain what's a mobile phone and what's a smartphone. And if I may mention on a little detail on multitasking, for example, these phones has the capability of running a couple of applications in background as well, offering a kind of multitasking functionality for end users. What's really good. When you open your chat application, you continue to be online to your friends, even though you're using other features from the phone, like camera, like the calendar, or running other applications. Nokia is helping the industry to build a new category in the mobile phones space. We used to have the mobile phones, right? Very basic phones, mostly used for voice and basic communications. Have the smartphones, very well defined by you, that we can count on open operating systems, many in the market, and full multitasking. You can run several processes at the same time in parallel. But we are now bringing a new category, the smart light. Phones that are not that basic as we thought before. You can have several applications running. You have a powerful application store available, distributing these apps to these consumers, but are not as expensive as the smartphones are. And this is extremely important for a region like Middle East and Africa. If you consider, for example, the potential that we have in African countries, price is really, really important. When we talk about internet connectivity on these devices, of course, we have the top of the pyramid with users, with smartphone users already connected to the internet. They have internet at home, at work, at school. They have internet via their mobile operators. But you have the middle of the pyramid here, something around 2.8, 2.9 billion people that are not connected yet to the internet via mobile phones. Part of them, they have internet capability in their phones, but they are not using yet, sometimes afraid of the famous bill shock about the cost. We are working very, very closely to operators to change this and to help consumers to have access to internet via Nokia phones. And consumers that their phones are not capable of accessing internet. That's also a good opportunity for us to upgrade their phones to better device that can actually access internet. And definitely we have in the bottom of the pyramid consumers that up to date they don't have a mobile phone. Looks like very strange for most of us to think about someone that doesn't have a mobile phone. It's easier today to forget a wallet or your car keys at home, but you never forget your mobile phone. But still, there's a lot of people in the world that doesn't have a mobile phone. And we also think about these guys. We also bring affordable mobile phones with certain services based on SMS as well that they can use, they can start to use. When you think exactly about that part, the middle of the pyramid, Nokia has a specific strategy to tackle this and to approach these consumers. We want to connect the next billion of internet users. These users that are not using mobile internet in their phones. And let's be real, for most of these users, their first internet experience will be based on their mobile phones. They don't have computers at home. They don't have broadband access at home. Most of them, they have to wait until they get to the school or to get to work to be able to access internet. And they will be accessing for the first time using these phones. And we have three pillars to work under this strategy. We want to develop the best means, the best way to access internet in our phones, the best internet capability in our phones. We, of course, need to bring very aspirational portfolio, great devices at affordable prices, and we are working with local developers to enhance the local ecosystem of applications that really means something for these consumers. Global applications are great. Global applications will be available anyway in our platforms, in our store, but we have the capabilities to bring local applications to these consumers that will be accessing for the first time. And this will be their first smartphone experience. Let's not forget about these guys. These are our consumers, the urban youth. This is the fastest growing segment in the market. They are very active, they are very engaged in social networks, in social debates. These are the consumers that have low budget most of the times, but they are highly aspirational. These are the users, the consumers that are leading the revolutions all around. So these are the users that we have developed the Connect in the next billion strategy. A little bit about numbers. I think it's important to share with you some of our latest advances in the industry. You cannot read this well, but I'll say we have now reached more than 13 million downloads per day in Nokia Store. 13 million downloads per day. It's an amazing number. When you talk about mobile phones, and one detail, if we were having this session last year, if I was here March 2011, I'll be talking about 3 million. Amazing, amazing growth we're seeing in Nokia Store. When we talk about the mobile phones products, 30%, more than 30% of these numbers are coming from mobile phones. Last year, mobile phones represented only 12% of total downloads. So this segment is also growing very fast. Consumers are getting access to internet for the first time in their phones, and they are getting used to download applications from Nokia Store. 100 million registered users, 150 operators in the world with operator billing capabilities with us in more than 50 markets. 350 developers crossed the 1 million download mark to date. Not talking about 1, 2, or 10 smartphones. We're talking about 154 different devices compatible with Nokia Store. 190 plus countries accessing Nokia Store and downloading content from Nokia Store. And in 90% of these markets, we speak local language. We have local language in the phone UI, we have local language in the store UI, and we have local language in applications. And as well, very well said in the previous SDC presentation, SDC and Integra presentation, it's extremely important for local developers to bring local language to these applications so we can distribute and reach much more consumers through our store. A little bit on the local examples. Here is one example, one developer from Jordan, Maisal Ward. I'm sorry if I'm not speaking correctly. In December last year, they have reached the 1 million downloads. They have published several games, mostly different games and entertainment applications. They reached the 1 million mark in December, and we are now talking end of March. They are already 1.8 million downloads. They will reach the 2 million very, very quickly. And if you think about the markets they have been distributing these applications, it's not only Jordan. Their number one country downloading apps from this publisher, from this developer, is India. followed by Saudi, Jordan, Egypt, even Indonesia and Brazil. So they have developed these games locally, and they have reached these numbers with the massive global distribution that we can offer. When we talk about the smart light category, for Nokia now we start to talk about Asha, the Asha family of devices. We have announced a couple of devices by the end of last year. Some more were announced during Mobile World Congress this year. Nokia Asha means smart light for us. We're bringing devices that not only have all the internet capabilities that I was mentioning, but think about devices already with 1 gigahertz processor, with Wi-Fi, 3G, push email capabilities. Applications running in background, as I mentioned, email and chat, instant messaging. So these are the devices that we are bringing for these new consumers we have. Asha is internet, as I mentioned, Nokia browser. Nokia browser allows consumers to have a very, very good internet experience in their phones with high compression. 70% of the data is not downloaded, is not used, is a proxy browser. Depending on the website, the compression goes up to 90%. This means delivering the proper internet experience to consumers without forcing them to pay for flash elements, for embedded videos that they are not going to enjoy in their phones. Over 20 million downloads of web apps based on this Nokia browser solution. Asha is social. We have the social client integrated to these phones, allowing consumers to quickly and very easily connect to their Facebook friends, to their Twitter friends, and keep connected all the time. Location. We have now Nokia Maps for this platform, for Nokia Asha products. And more important than having the Maps database is allowing developers to use location APIs to develop location-aware applications to these consumers. We're not talking about wallpapers or ringing tones to reach these users. We're really talking about rich applications. Nokia Store, as I mentioned, evolving every quarter at least. We have a new release, a new client, improving user interface, improving usability. And users are getting connected to Nokia Store. Big thing was announced during Mobile World Congress. We are bringing, together with Nokia Asha 202 and 203, 40 EA games, 40 big titles that are being sold in Nokia Store will be offered for free for these consumers. So consumers will have an application, an EA gift inside their phones, and they will be able to download 40 premium titles for free. And if you think the retail price for these games times 40 may get almost more expensive than the device itself. This is the kind of promotions we'll be doing together with partners to promote applications and to make people even more engaged with Nokia Store. Business. Mail for Exchange will be available in Nokia Store as well for Nokia Asha 302 and 303, making email contacts and calendar available for these smart light devices. We have two range of products in the Asha family. We have the Asha QWERTY devices, starting with the 200 and 201, our entry QWERTY products, going up to the 303 that already combines the QWERTY keyboard with a touch interface. And we have the touch device, the monoblock, with the traditional ITU keyboard for people that still feel more comfortable to use a regular phone, but wants to start to use the touch experience with 202 and 203 launching soon, and the Nokia Asha 300 already in the market. That's what we had to share with you. I think now we may open for questions, right?
Yeah. Hi. 2 questions. You said you have 30% downloads to phones, mobile phones. So where does the 70% go? Nokia is a phone company, right?
Well, 70% comes from our smartphones based on Symbian, Migo, and coming next, Windows.
So 30 is mobile, and then 70 is smart.
Yes.
Other question. Asha, is it a family of devices? Is it a device, or it's a operating system? What is it?
It's a family of devices. It's a sub-brand that we are using for these specific products. So we have, as I showed here, you have Asha 200, Asha 302, 303.
So it's
These
an
are all
operating
named
system.
Asha.
It's an operating system called Asha, you mean, or a version of your operating system?
Operating system is still the Series 40 that we have from previous products, from previous families. Of course, with improvements on user interface.
Okay.
But this specific device should be called Asha.
And when is it going to be released?
All of these products are already launched except the 202 and 203. This product is launching in the coming months.
My name is Sultan. My question is regarding of what you announced in the MWC, the new telephone PureView 808. Is there any information about when you are going to release it in Middle East? Thank you.
Unfortunately, this presentation is focused on our mobile phones products. We can have a separate discussion in our booth. I invite you to come to our booth, and then we can discuss about it.
Okay. Anyone else?
My name is Umar. Thank you. That was a very good presentation. Just one question to your point on reaching the next billion consumers. There was talk in the last few years on Nokia Money, your mobile money applications or services. You haven't mentioned that at all. Is it still in the pipe? Is something happening on this? Could you share something?
We cover here in this presentation services that are coming embedded in this new family of products. Nokia Money is not part of this of the Asha family for now. Nokia Money is available in certain countries. We had pilots running, and it's still now under decision if we're going to continue to pursue this path or not.
My name is Abed Bibi. I want to ask you, how is it different? How is Asha this different than the other operating smartphone? And how you rank it among iPhone and BlackBerry?
Well, these are a different operating system, of course. We have, even within Nokia, we have different operating systems. This operating system is developed and much focused on lower performance hardware. So it's very optimized for low cost hardware. What gives us different capabilities from a full-fledged operating system. So you don't have full multitasking, you don't have the capability of running several applications at the same time. But of course, as I explained, we have managed to improve the software in a point that we can have certain applications running in the background, giving the smartphone experience to consumers. So, but without going for an expensive hardware. So we are talking about products from the price range below $200, for example. We're not talking about full-fledged smartphones.
Great. Thank you, Gustavo. That was very interesting.